It took me 5 years to quit my job. Turns out, the life I worked so hard to build was not the one I wanted. Like many first-generation kids, I followed the safe path. You know, the one leading to a stable, white-collar job. But as I was dragging myself to work every morning, I couldn't help but ask myself the same question. Is this really it? So, I quit. And now, the way I see work, money, and freedom has completely changed. If you feel stuck between safety and chasing your dreams, this one's for you. We all have dreams. To live quietly in comfort or to make a living doing what we love. But beneath those dreams lies something deeper. Purpose. It's what guides us. It's the why behind everything we do. Why we exist. Perhaps it's the fight for justice. But it can also be a warm cup of coffee, a conversation with a stranger, or a laugh with a friend. For me though, I found most of my purpose through my day job. It's hard not to when I'm spending most of my waking hours there. So, on one evening after work, I was reflecting on what I'd done all day, and it was hard to say that this is why I exist. I really tried to make it work. I asked to be put on different projects and even transferred into different roles, which helped. No job is perfect, and of course everyone has bad days. But my problem was that even on good days, I was questioning my purpose here. That's when I realized it didn't matter what I was doing. I was simply on the wrong path. It's funny because on the surface, I was productive and my ego loved pretending that I had my life together. But sometimes you just have to stop and ask yourself, is the work you're doing moving you forward, or is it just keeping you busy? And for me, it was the latter. I suppose that was one of the turning points that got me thinking maybe I should quit. But the final straw was when I had a glimpse into my future. I realized I can see what I'll become just by looking at my seniors and managers. After all, they're doing the job I'll be doing if I stayed for another 5, 10, 20 years. And I never aspired to be in any of those positions, ever. And that's when it all began. The only problem though was that I had no idea what I wanted to do. I had no sense of direction and no hobbies. Well, except for eating out and walking my husky. I spent so long with my head down working that I didn't give myself a chance to think about what truly mattered to me. So then, after wrestling through procrastination and time management issues, I spent the next few years on my weekends and weeknights just experimenting and dabbling in different things until I finally landed on making videos. If you find yourself having similar thoughts, maybe you're convinced that you need to quit as well. But the reality is that we have bills to pay and people depending on us. As an overthinker, I know that I would completely spiral if I quit without a safety net, and suddenly I'd go from what is my purpose to, okay, how do I pay rent? How do I get by? So before I quit, I asked myself a few tough questions like, okay, how much in savings do I need to survive? How long am I willing to pursue this new venture for, even if I've got nothing to show for it? And when do I plan on starting a family? All of that matters. So the only way that I could move forward was to, first of all, continue working and save up as much as I can. And I won't sugarcoat it, it's going to take a long time. For me, from the time I wanted to quit to when I actually quit was at least 5 years. And sometimes life happens in ways that you least expect and your priorities will shift. Not a topic for today's video, but what I'm trying to say is you need to be kind to yourself and be patient. It's been about 2 months now since I've quit and I don't know what the future holds. And yeah, sometimes I still feel lost. Within the first few days, I was hit with this weird kind of loneliness. Even though I've always thought that I liked being independent, I actually miss talking to colleagues and the little daily interactions that I didn't realize mattered. And then there's the whole identity crisis. Going from a skilled job to creating your own path, it feels almost backwards sometimes, at least if you're measuring by society's standards. I also never thought that I'd miss aspects of the 9 to 5, but I do. You know, that sense of structure and feeling useful in a team. Also, I think it's quite funny that I've switched my 9 to 5 for 24/7 at this stage. Quitting your 9 to 5 isn't the fairy tale that you'd expect if you're working on something else. You don't suddenly feel free. Now, every win and every failure is pretty much on you alone. And if you decide to take a day off, there's no one there to do the work for you. Pretty much everything just stops. I'm more stressed than ever now, but the best thing is that it feels different. It's not corporate deadlines pushing me around. It's actually just me making choices that matter to me. But not Fimisu. Final layer. I tried. Sometimes the uncertainty of not knowing how my future looks is terrifying, but that's okay. The point isn't to have everything solved. It's to keep moving forward, experimenting and figuring things out my way, one step at a time. Nothing in this life is guaranteed and failure is a very real possibility. But like I said before, I'd rather live through a few messy chapters than to never write a story at all, and I think this will be a story worth telling.